can't say it, I really need it. Noam Safier.
Thank you, not necessary. First of all, thank you for all of those who actually did show up tonight. I guess I really know which one of you guys are actually my friends. If you see anybody else, let them know. Look at the video. Anyways, so that being said, I want to start with a story because I think generally people tend to space out during these things, and stories really bring people into it. So here it goes. About 2 years ago, I was on Machach. Don't worry, Rabbi, it was the non-co-ed version of Machach, so there weren't any girls there. So wait, let me start with my topic here is self-esteem, and if I wasn't self-confident, that would have been a really uncomfortable situation. But I'm fine with that, though, too. Either way. So this was Machach. This was Machach. It was Tisha B'Av time. And so they decided to take us to Beito Road, which is I think the first yeshiva that was settled after 1967 in East Jerusalem, and they took us there to read Eicha. But we weren't reading it in the yeshiva. We were sitting outside, like on the empty road that's there, overlooking Har Habayit. So this was really an incredible experience for me because here I am. Tisha B'Av is something that's so hard to connect to. It's something that happened 2,000 years ago. And so, it's something that I always had an issue and something I always struggled with. So here I am, this is my first Tisha B'Av where I'm overlooking Har Habayit, the place where the actual Chorban happened. I'm connecting to it, and I finally feel like things are going well, and this is it. Like, this is going to be, I'm finally going to be connected to Tisha B'Av for the rest of my life. This is going to be the greatest Tisha B'Av ever. So we're reading Eicha, the tones are very sad, and halfway through, suddenly, it's all quiet, and I hear an explosion. So everyone's looking around, and we hear a second explosion. Yeah, you were there. And we realize that this explosion, no, it's not a bomb, thank God, but rather it was fireworks. So what we realized is the Arabs in the village next door were celebrating. Why? Because a lot of times the Arabs tend to celebrate on days when we're happy, when we're sad, they're happy that we're sad. They tend to celebrate on days when we're sad. So here, this was supposed to be our greatest Tisha B'Av, and here I have other people coming and ruining it for me. I was washed over with, I was just upset, I was angry. How could they do this? They're ruining this for me. Eventually, this anger turned into sadness, and I was depressed about it. And afterwards, fine, we're going back to the hotel, and we're on the bus ride back, and it's always everyone's kind of like soaking, it's very sullen because of the mood. And I'm thinking about this whole thing, and then two words pop into my head. Who cares? I realized that, I've realized this before, but really, this really drove the point home for me that you can't let what other people say or what other people's actions do offend you, because that'll stop you from being who you really are and accomplishing what you can. So that is self-esteem, and that's what we all need to strive to have. A very important person, I think, a person you're all familiar with. I'm not, hit this point home very well when they said, when you believe in yourself, your dreams can come true. Given that this person was Miley Cyrus, we probably shouldn't look to her for all of, Guru and advice and things like that, but I thought, just so you guys saw, it's not just me. Anyways, I think, to quote a book, which I think, it's something a little more Jewish, which I think you're all aware, it says here in Holy Nation, I'm completely kidding, I'm not No, but let's get serious for a second. It says in the Sefer Tzidkas HaTzadik, which thank you, Rabbi Rablowski, for letting us use, which was written by Rav Tzadok Cohen Lublin. He makes two great points. The first point he says is Kishem she'adam tzarich la'amin b'Hashem yisbarach, kach achar kach la'amin ba'atzmo. Just like a person needs to believe in Hashem, he also afterwards needs to believe in himself, and he continues by saying, Ratza lomar lahamin sheyesh Hashem esak imcha. Every person needs to believe that God has stock in him, that God cares about him. So second point clearly just exemplifies how God cares about us. It's important. But the first phrase is really what I'm talking about here. Is just that obviously we're supposed to believe in Hashem, and that's what He wants. It's important. But how do we do that? We need to believe in ourselves. And in order for us to be happy with what we're doing and the way we're serving in our existence, we need this self-esteem and this self-confidence. So I believe, I spoke about this point because this is something that I think hits home for me very well when I was younger. This is more, I struggle with self-esteem a lot. I still struggle with it, but not as much. I think I actually want to do a quick test. Maybe I'm the only one here, but sometimes you're like messing around with a guy, And he goes like, ha ha, like you have no friends, and like you walk away, and like 30 seconds later, you're like, wait a second, what? And like like maybe, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I got you. So that, I mean, even though that's like silly and that's somewhat menial, but that still shows that we all struggle with this issue so much. In Pirkei Avos, as Rav Olshin put it so eloquently yesterday, it says, "Im ena nili mili." If I am not for myself, who is for me? So again, this is not straight out self-esteem, but how can you do things for yourself if you're not going to be confident with yourself? If you're not going to be confident that you can do it, you won't be able to take care of yourself. You won't be able to worship for yourself. You'll have to depend on others, and that's not what we want. So being confident in yourself and believing in yourself, that's much easier said than done. So how do you do it? So I'm here to tell you that there really is no easy way to do it. It takes a lot of time, which is the worst thing ever. It takes perseverance. It takes discipline. You just have to tell yourself that I won't let these things affect me. And eventually, over this period of time, you'll achieve this goal. So to bring this point home, I have a story here. Another story. Focus up. This is good. There was once a man who enjoyed business. He was a smart guy, and he liked business. He decided he was going to dedicate his life and his career to business. And he wasn't so happy with his skills in Torah and his learning. He didn't think he was going anywhere with that. So he decided, fine, start with business. Good. So one night he has a dream that Admei Avestrim, he dies, and he goes up to Shamayim, and he's standing there in front of Beis Din Lamala, the Beis Din that's going to judge you before you go in, and they look at him and they go, all right, based on the way you've lived your life, you're going to go to Gehenna. It's like, what? Like, I was honest in business, I respected people. How could I possibly be going to Gehenna? I understand, what did I do wrong? So the Dayan there, the judge, says, okay, come with me. So the two of them walk through the gates of Gan Eden, and they're walking through, and he's looking around, and he sees in one area of Gan Eden, there's a person standing in front of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Talmidim, and he's teaching them Torah. So the guy goes, I understand, who is this? Like, what's going on here? He said, if you would have chosen Torah, that would have been your path. So, wow, the guy's shocked. He wakes up, he starts learning, he realizes that he gains what he needs in order to succeed in this, and eventually he becomes Rav Naftali Tzvi Yehuda Berlin, the Netziv, who has tons of Pirushim and has inspired thousands, I'm sure. So anyways, just to finish off here, the Blavich Rebbe, a quote from the Blavich Rebbe that says, to be born means that you mattered. There's an infinite amount of people that could have been born. The fact that you were born shows that you have a tafkid. It means you shouldn't look down on yourself. There's a reason why you're here, and your goal is to figure out what that is and take the necessary steps to accomplish it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I love you, everybody else loves you, Hashem loves you, but perhaps even most importantly, I'm not sure, you have to love yourself, and only by that you'll accomplish your goals and what you need to do.
So 2 quick suggestions for the week.